Are you noticing that your vision is not as sharp as it used to be, or that your memory sometimes feels cloudy, especially at the end of the day? Here's something surprising. The foods you eat just before bed can actually help repair your eyes and recharge your brain while you sleep. Most people think of eyesight loss and memory decline as inevitable parts of aging, but research shows that these changes are not simply wear and tear. They are deeply connected to how your cells handle stress, energy, and repair at night. In fact, your brain and your retina, the thin layer at the back of your eye that captures light, are made up of the same type of fatty tissue. They both demand enormous amounts of energy, oxygen, and antioxidants. If they do not get the right nutrients, the tiny capillaries that feed them weaken, oxidative stress builds up, and over time your memory and vision begin to decline. Here is what is really going on inside your body. At night, while you are sleeping, your brain is going through a process called glymphatic clearance. Think of it as a deep cleaning crew for your neurons. Damaged proteins like beta amyloid, the same ones linked to Alzheimer's disease, get washed away. At the same time, the retina uses the dark hours to regenerate its photoreceptor cells. But this nightly repair cycle can only happen if your body has the right building blocks available. Without the correct nutrients, the cleanup is incomplete and damage slowly accumulates. Now here's the hopeful news. Certain natural foods, specifically 3 powerful dry fruits, contain concentrated nutrients that act like fuel for this overnight repair system. They provide polyphenols, healthy fats, and memory protective antioxidants that travel directly to the eye and brain tissue. Think of them as sending reinforcements into the night shift, making sure your vision cells and memory neurons have exactly what they need to repair themselves. Why does this matter? Because the science of aging is no longer just about extending lifespan. It is about extending health span. That means sharper focus, better eyesight, and a brain that stays resilient well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. By making small, targeted changes, like the foods you choose before bed, you can influence how your brain and eyes perform tomorrow morning, and even decades from now. So, in this session, we are going to break it all down clearly. I will show you why these 3 dry fruits are uniquely powerful for your brain and your eyes, how they work inside your body during the hours of sleep, the exact timing and serving sizes to use for maximum benefit, the science behind antioxidants, blood flow, and hormonal balance that makes this possible, and finally, how to integrate this into your nightly routine so it becomes effortless. By the end of this talk, you will understand not only which foods to eat, but why they work, the exact physiology of how nutrients are turned into sharper memory and clearer vision. Let us begin. When you close your eyes at night and drift into sleep, your body does not simply rest. It goes into one of the most active repair cycles of the entire day. Your brain and your eyes in particular are running on a schedule. And this is where most people miss a critical truth. The nutrients you consume before sleep determine how effective that nightly repair is. Here is what is really going on inside your body. During deep sleep, your brain activates something called the glymphatic system. Picture a street sweeping crew moving through your brain, clearing out damaged proteins, toxins, and waste products. At the same time, the retina at the back of your eye is busy rebuilding its light-sensing photoreceptor cells, which get worn down every day by constant exposure to blue light, oxidative stress, and metabolic strain. Both of these systems, the brain and the retina, rely heavily on antioxidants, vitamins, and stable blood sugar levels to complete this process. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Imagine you are renovating a house overnight. The workers come in, but if there are no raw materials delivered, no wood, no steel, no cement, they cannot rebuild. That is exactly what happens if your diet lacks the right nutrients before bed. The cleanup team shows up, but the rebuilding never truly happens. Over time, that leads to weaker memory, slower recall, and a gradual decline in visual sharpness. What the research shows is that the brain and retina both consume massive amounts of energy relative to their size. In fact, your brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, but uses up to 20% of your total energy. Your retina is even more metabolically active than your brain. That means they are highly vulnerable to oxidative damage and nutrient depletion. Without replenishment, they begin to break down years earlier than they should. Now, here is the empowering part. Studies have shown that specific compounds in natural foods, polyphenols, flavonoids, vitamin E, omega fatty acids, cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in the eye. That means what you eat is not just fueling your muscles or your liver, it is directly nourishing your neurons and your vision cells. And dry fruits, because they are nutrient-dense and concentrated, are uniquely powerful in delivering these compounds during the hours when your brain and eyes are in repair mode. So the first insight is this. If you want sharper memory and clearer vision, you need to think about your evening nutrition as setting the stage for overnight repair. The timing matters. The types of nutrients matter, and the quality of your sleep matters. Together, they form the foundation that the 3 dry fruits we will cover next can build upon. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day, with clear science and practical steps you can use immediately. The first dry fruit I want you to focus on is the almond. At first glance, almonds may look simple, just a common nut. But inside, they are packed with a nutrient profile that is uniquely suited for protecting the retina and preserving your vision as you age. Here is what is really going on inside your eyes. The retina is lined with millions of photoreceptor cells that capture light and convert it into electrical signals for the brain. These cells are extremely fragile. They are constantly bombarded by free radicals created through light exposure and high-energy metabolism. Over time, this oxidative stress weakens the retina and contributes to conditions like age-related macular degeneration. Almonds contain vitamin E, one of the most powerful fat-soluble antioxidants. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of vitamin E as a protective shield that coats your cell membranes. Every time free radicals try to damage the fats in your retina cells, vitamin E absorbs that impact and prevents the damage from spreading. In fact, studies have shown that individuals with higher vitamin E intake have a significantly lower risk of macular degeneration and cataracts. But there is another layer. Almonds also improve microcirculation, the blood flow through the tiniest capillaries in the eye. These capillaries deliver oxygen and nutrients directly to the retina. If circulation slows down, repair stalls. The healthy monounsaturated fats in almonds keep blood vessels flexible, lowering inflammation and ensuring that nutrients reach where they are needed most. Here is the connection to nighttime repair. When you eat a small serving of almonds in the evening, you are essentially loading your bloodstream with antioxidants and healthy fats just before the retina enters its nightly regeneration cycle. Instead of waking up with more oxidative damage, your eyes wake up protected, nourished, and ready for another day of visual stress. What the research shows is compelling. A study published in the journal Ophthalmology found that diets rich in vitamin E reduce the progression of age-related eye disease by as much as 25%. And almonds, gram for gram, are one of the richest natural sources. So, how do you use this practically? Aim for about 6 to 8 soaked almonds before bed. Soaking them makes the nutrients more bioavailable, easier for your body to absorb. This is not a large amount. You do not want to overload your digestion at night. Think of it as a precise dose of protective compounds, sent directly to your retina at the exact time it is repairing itself. To recap this first dry fruit, almonds strengthen your vision by delivering vitamin E antioxidants, improving blood vessel flexibility, and supplying steady energy to retinal cells. They are simple, natural, and deeply effective if you use them consistently. If you are finding this breakdown clear and useful, do make sure you are subscribed, because in the next section we are going to uncover another dry fruit, one that goes straight to your brain to lock in stronger memory while you sleep. The second dry fruit I want to highlight is the walnut. If almonds are the shield for your eyes, then walnuts are the fuel for your brain. And it is no coincidence that a walnut actually looks like a miniature brain with 2 hemispheres and a wrinkled cortex. Nature often leaves us clues, and in this case, the resemblance is more than symbolic. Here is what is really going on inside your brain at night. When you sleep, your brain is not idle. It is busy consolidating memories, taking short-term information from the day and transferring it into long-term storage. This process depends heavily on the strength of your neurons' membranes and the smooth communication between them. If the membranes are rigid, inflamed, or starved of nutrients, memory consolidation suffers. Walnuts deliver an extraordinary supply of alpha-linolenic acid, AAA, plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. These omega-3s are essential for building flexible, healthy cell membranes in neurons. Think of it like oiling the hinges of a door. Without that oil, the door squeaks and resists movement. With it, the door swings smoothly. Walnuts keep the hinges of your brain cells moving freely, so electrical signals and memories pass with clarity. What the research shows is powerful. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that higher walnut consumption was associated with better cognitive function, including memory, concentration, and processing speed, especially in older adults. Another clinical trial demonstrated that omega-3s improve synaptic plasticity, the ability of your brain to form and strengthen connections. But walnuts do not stop there. They also contain polyphenols and melatonin. Polyphenols reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in the hippocampus, the memory center of your brain. Melatonin, the natural sleep hormone present in walnuts, helps align your circadian rhythm, ensuring that your brain enters the deeper stages of restorative sleep, exactly when memory consolidation happens most effectively. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Imagine your brain as a library. Every day, dozens of new books arrive. Those are your experiences, your conversations, your learning. At night, the librarian needs to shelve those books in the right sections so you can find them later. If the lights are dim, the shelves are broken, or the air is full of dust, the job is slow and incomplete. Walnuts, with their omega-3s and antioxidants, repair the shelves, brighten the lights, and make sure the books get stored correctly. Here's how to use this practically. Just 2 to 3 walnut halves before bed are enough. Because walnuts are dense in fats, a small portion delivers all the omega-3s you need for this effect without being heavy on digestion. The best way is to eat them raw, not roasted, so that the delicate oils remain intact. So, to summarize, walnuts improve memory by enriching neuron membranes with omega-3s, lowering brain inflammation, supporting the hippocampus, and even enhancing sleep quality with natural melatonin. If you want your brain to file away today's experiences clearly, walnuts before bed are a smart and natural strategy. If this resonates with you and you want more practical science like this, consider subscribing. I share content daily that helps you use nutrition and lifestyle to rebuild health from the inside out. The third dry fruit I want you to pay attention to is the raisin. At first, it may seem too ordinary compared to almonds and walnuts, but raisins contain a very specific set of compounds that target both your eyes and your brain in ways that directly support overnight repair. Here is what is really going on inside your body. One of the greatest threats to both vision and memory is oxidative stress combined with unstable blood sugar. When blood sugar spikes too high and then crashes, your brain cells and your retinal cells are left in an energy crisis. Add in oxidative stress, and the delicate mitochondria inside these cells begin to falter. That is when you experience memory fog, poor focus, and even faster eye fatigue. Raisins step in with 2 unique advantages. First, they are rich in polyphenols, particularly quercetin and catechins, which are powerful antioxidants. These compounds neutralize free radicals before they can damage your neurons or your retina. Think of polyphenols as the firefighters that rush in to extinguish sparks before they can ignite a blaze. Second, raisins contain natural glucose and fructose in a balanced form paired with dietary fiber. This allows for a slow, steady release of energy instead of a sharp spike. That steady energy supply is critical for your brain and eyes during the night, because while you are sleeping, these tissues are still metabolically active. They do not shut down, they are repairing, rewiring, and regenerating. Stable fuel means they can complete the job without interruption. What the research shows is that polyphenol-rich foods like raisins reduce oxidative damage in the retina and improve endothelial function, which supports healthy blood vessels. Another study found that moderate raisin intake improves glycemic control and reduces blood pressure, which indirectly protects the fragile vessels in your brain and eyes. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine you are running a marathon at night. If your energy supply comes in short, sharp bursts, you will collapse halfway through. But if you have a steady drip of fuel and a team of guards keeping the path clear, you can finish strong. Raisins provide that steady drip of energy and antioxidant guards, helping your eyes and brain finish their overnight repair cycles successfully. Here is how to use them practically. Just 5 to 7 raisins before bed are enough. They give your body a gentle energy cushion for the night without overwhelming your blood sugar. The best approach is to combine them with the almonds and walnuts we already discussed, creating a synergistic trio that targets different aspects of brain and eye repair simultaneously. So to recap this third dry fruit, raisins protect your vision and memory by reducing oxidative stress, stabilizing blood sugar, improving blood vessel health, and fueling your most energy-hungry tissues during the night. Simple, accessible, and deeply effective when used consistently. Now that you know the power of almonds, walnuts, and raisins individually, the real breakthrough happens when you combine them with the right bedtime habits. Nutrition is powerful on its own, but when it is aligned with your circadian biology, the natural rhythm of your body, the benefits multiply. Here is what is really going on inside your system. Your body does not repair equally at all hours of the night. There are phases. In the first few hours after you fall asleep, growth hormone peaks. This is when your tissues, including your retina and your neurons, do the deepest structural repair. Later in the night, your brain increases lymphatic clearance, washing away toxins and waste proteins. That means the window from bedtime to about 4 hours in is the most nutrient-demanding phase. If you time your dry fruits correctly, you give your cells exactly what they need at the exact hour they need it most. So how do you make this practical? Number 1, eat your dry fruits about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. This allows time for digestion and nutrient absorption so that the antioxidants, omega-3s, and polyphenols are circulating in your bloodstream by the time you are in deep sleep. Number 2, soak the almonds in water for 6 to 8 hours. This deactivates enzyme inhibitors and makes vitamin E and minerals more bioavailable. Peel off the skin before eating for best results. Number 3, pair walnuts and raisins together. Walnuts deliver omega-3s to your brain, while raisins provide a steady glucose release. Together, they create a balanced energy and repair environment. Number 4, support with hydration. A small glass of warm water or herbal tea before bed helps with nutrient transport and circulation. Avoid caffeinated teas as they interfere with melatonin release. Number 5, optimize your sleep environment. Dark, cool, and quiet conditions allow melatonin to rise naturally, which complements the melatonin already present in walnuts. If you eat the right foods but sabotage your sleep with late-night screens or light exposure, you cut off half the benefit. What the research shows is that combining nutrient-dense foods with circadian-aligned habits creates a synergistic effect. A study in nutrients highlighted that evening intake of antioxidants combined with deep sleep cycles improve markers of cognitive recovery more than diet or sleep alone. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your body as a construction site at night. The dry fruits are the building materials, but if the workers are distracted by noise, poor lighting, or lack of coordination, the project stalls. Good sleep hygiene is the lighting and organization that allows the building crew to use those materials efficiently. So, the takeaway here is clear. Almonds, walnuts, and raisins deliver the raw materials, but your bedtime habits determine how effectively your body uses them. Put the two together, and you create a nightly repair ritual that nourishes both vision and memory naturally. Now that we have the science and the principles in place, let me give you a clear, actionable nightly protocol that you can begin using tonight. Think of this as your blueprint for sharper vision and stronger memory, built naturally through consistent evening habits. Here is the step-by-step approach. Step number 1, prepare your almonds in advance. In the morning, place 6 to 8 almonds in a glass of water and let them soak throughout the day, By evening, peel off the thin brown skin and set them aside. This increases the bioavailability of vitamin E and minerals, making it easier for your retina to absorb what it needs. Step number 2. Add your walnuts. Take 2 to 3 walnut halves, raw and unroasted. These provide the omega-3 fatty acids and polyphenols that your neurons need for memory consolidation. Remember, more is not better. Walnuts are calorie dense, so stick with this precise serving to avoid digestive load at night. Step number 3. Include your raisins. Measure out 5 to 7 raisins. This small number provides a steady glucose drip without spiking your blood sugar. It is the perfect complement to the healthy fats in walnuts, keeping energy flow stable through the night. Step number 4. Time your intake correctly. Eat this trio about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. This allows digestion to begin so that the nutrients are circulating in your bloodstream as you enter deep sleep. If you eat them too late, your body may be busy digesting instead of repairing. Too early, and the energy window may taper off before the deepest phases of restoration. Step number 5. Pair with supportive bedtime habits. Dim the lights, avoid screens, and keep your sleep environment cool and dark. Drink a small glass of warm water or caffeine-free herbal tea to support circulation. These small steps amplify the benefits of the dry fruits by aligning your environment with your body's natural repair cycles. Step number 6. Repeat consistently. The real magic here comes from routine. One night of eating almonds, walnuts, and raisins will not suddenly transform your vision or memory. But night after night, you are stacking up protection, lowering oxidative stress, and strengthening your brain and eyes. Over weeks and months, the difference becomes noticeable: clearer eyesight, sharper recall, and steadier focus throughout the day. What the research shows is that consistency with nutrient timing matters more than large doses. In fact, studies on memory and cognition repeatedly emphasize that regular intake of small, targeted nutrients outperforms sporadic supplementation. This is about building resilience in your tissues, not just chasing short-term effects. Let me give you one final analogy to anchor this in your mind. Imagine watering a plant. If you flood it once in a while and then forget about it, the plant struggles. But if you water it gently every evening, it grows strong, resilient, and vibrant. Your brain and your eyes are the same. This nightly trio of dry fruits is your gentle, consistent nourishment that builds lasting health. So, your protocol is simple. 6 to 8 soaked almonds, 2 to 3 walnut halves, and 5 to 7 raisins, eaten about half an hour before sleep, paired with good bedtime habits. That is it. Straightforward, powerful, and deeply effective. We have covered a lot of ground today, so let us bring it all together clearly. Your eyes and your brain are 2 of the most energy-hungry organs in your body. They never stop working, not even when you sleep. In fact, it is during sleep that they perform their deepest repair and regeneration. The retina rebuilds its light-sensitive cells. The brain clears out toxins and consolidates memories. But for this repair to succeed, your body needs the right fuel, the raw materials that allow cells to strengthen and recover. Here's what we now know. Almonds deliver vitamin E and healthy fats that protect the retina from oxidative stress and keep microcirculation flowing. Walnuts supply omega-3 fatty acids and melatonin, strengthening neuron membranes and enhancing memory consolidation. Raisins provide polyphenols and gentle, steady energy, shielding against oxidative stress and stabilizing blood sugar so your brain and eyes have consistent fuel through the night. When you combine these 3 dry fruits with supportive bedtime habits, soaking almonds, timing your intake 30 to 45 minutes before bed, dimming lights, hydrating gently, and protecting your sleep environment, you create a nightly ritual that is far more powerful than the sum of its parts. The big idea here is simple. Nutrition is not just about what you eat. It is about when you eat and how your body uses it during its natural rhythms of repair. By aligning your evening choices with your circadian biology, you are not just feeding yourself, you are programming your body to wake up with sharper vision, clearer memory, and greater resilience day after day. Think about what this means long term. Instead of accepting memory loss and vision decline as unavoidable, you are actively slowing those processes and even reversing some of the early damage. You are protecting your independence, your creativity, and your ability to engage fully with life well into your 60s,